Hey everybody, happy Sunday. Wow, that's a lot of echo. Hey everybody, how's it going? Just gonna turn that off. Pedalboard. Here it is. Anyhow, happy Sunday everybody. Cheers. There's no coffee here because I'm doing this later in the day because actually there is coffee here, but I don't know what, here, look at those cups as what day was this? Yeah, we're gonna put this down. I'm gonna put this down over here. Yeah, stand over here. Grab a bottle of water from over here. There we go. Anyhow, happy Father's Day, everybody. Happy Father's Day. Cheers. Keep yourself hydrated because I still had to cut the lawn today. The lawn was bad. Oh. Yeah, this is like the last day of a long stretch of stuff, gigs, shows, car repairs, having to have a rental car for a few days. Had an interesting rental car. It was like this, I went in there and I said, give me the cheapest thing you have. I don't care what it is. So they gave me a Mitsubishi Mirage. Any of you guys drive one of those things? Own one of those things? Probably cost about, $5,000. But no, it's got to be more than that. Pretty much a roller skate on wheels. Made me really appreciate my car when I got it back, but I'm not that bad. Who wants little thing to drive around town? Couldn't fit anything in it. Couldn't take it to a gig. I'd be able to fit a couple guitars in there. Went to do the groceries in it and had to put the seats down. Remember Police Academy first movie in the High Tower? Take out the front seat, sit in the back. This is basically this car. You have to see if anyone taller than me would have to sit in it. They'd have to take the front seats out and sit in the back. Water is good. Cheers, especially if you cut the lawn today in 40-degree weather and it wasn't here in Southern Ontario. On Father's Day, but I don't care. Father's Day. Father's Day is about just being, I guess, appreciated. I don't know. I had a nice Mexican dinner. It was good. Yeah, but yeah, last night I had a great Father's Day gig at Cabanas. Hey, my new favorite place to play, Cabanas in Cambridge. Beautiful people there, great crowd, really appreciative bunch. Carlos, the owner, you're awesome, buddy. Shooting videos of us, and then this is the most beautiful thing you can do for musicians, other than pay them for what they do, is feed them at a gig. If anybody a bar owner out there that's listening right now, you want happy guys on stage, you feed them. And he fed us after the show, which was a good idea because I don't know, I thought it was a great thing, amazing thing. We're tearing down about it's about 1:15, 1:20 in the morning, and 2 large pepperoni pizzas show up, and here you go, guys. It's like, oh man, I love you. Anyways, it makes the load out a lot easier. Anyways, but Cabanas in Cambridge. Anybody who wants to, a lot of these rock bars are not around anymore. This is a rock bar. Great people, and and kudos to all the rock bars that are still out there and doing it, because hey guys, we'll still come play with you. Anyhow, special thanks to everybody who was a part of that show last night. It was really lots of fun. And I was just playing, switching gears. Anybody know the song? When I was growing up, there was it was basically the beginnings of hard metal, heavy metal, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, all those bands, and then there was this band called Queensryche. That we didn't know much about bands because there's no internet back then, so we just, whatever the DJ told you on the radio when the song played is really what you found out. Then you would go to the record store, grab the album and read everything on the liner notes that you can read, and maybe you'd have enough money to buy the album. So I was a kid, so I didn't really have that luxury all the time. So you'd go to the record store and just sit there and read album covers just to find out information on these bands. And maybe you found maybe a rock magazine or a guitar magazine came out and did a feature on these guys, and you'd sop up some more information, and sponge it all up. But Queensryche, I thought this band was from England with the word Queen in front of you, one of their names. And then my friend Art Daniels and I went to a gig, Twisted Sister. First gig for Twisted Sister. This is before We Were Not Gonna Take It. This was Can't Stop Rock and Roll, first album. Concert Hall, Masonic Temple on Yonge Street. Remember that place, guys? Little place there. It's now a TV studio, which really kind of makes me want to cry. But this building's still there. It's a beautiful building. Small place, the Concert Hall. Led Zeppelin played there. I think the first gig they ever played in Toronto was at the Masonic Temple on Yonge Street. And so we went there, and Marge said, "Yeah, I'm going to go see Twisted Sister." I said, "Well, this new band that I love called Queensryche is opening. Yeah, I'll go with you." So Art and I went there. A bunch of other friends were there also. And we stood right there on the floor. About, it was only standing room on the floor at Concert Hall. Stood there on the floor about, maybe about equivalent of 7 rows back. Dee Snider, the Twisted Sister, was like right there, and that's a tough gig to be a spectator at, because he centers you out. I don't know if you've ever read Dee Snider's book, but he would just sit there and, "Hey, you sitting there posing." If you're sitting there, don't ever go to a Twisted Sister gig in 1983 with your hands crossed like this and just watching the band like this, because he will center you out and say, and amazing front man. If you hear some of the stories of him, Angela, my wife, had a story about him almost causing a riot in Halifax when she was growing up there. So but anyways, Queensryche opened that show. They didn't even have an album out. They had an EP out had the song Queen of the Reich on there, and Lady Wore Black, a few other songs, amazing songs. Jeff Tate, the premier vocalist of the time, right up there, even though they weren't as, popular or whatever, had the same record sales as like Dio and Sabbath and that. Man, he was the guy that we were sitting there trying to sing like, and the higher stuff and all that. And he was just incredible. Real Rob Halford disciple. If you hear a song called Lady Wore Black, you think, "Oh, this is Sad Wings of Destiny all over again," right? But they were played, phenomenal band, and then before they started, they said from Seattle, Washington, Queensryche, and I'm like, wow, they're Seattle, Washington. I thought for sure they were from across the ocean, but they're up there, and Tate was amazing on stage. He had these piercing, I don't know if they're blue or green eyes, and he would just sit there, and because I was only 7 rows from him, he was looking at you like with these eyes, and they all had back then they all had the hair, and it was like they were in Concert Hall. I've told this story to a few of my friends. Concert Hall was so small that the opening band, Queensryche, when they were taking their gear off the stage, it came off the front of the stage, and I saw Scott Rockenfield's cymbals were basically right beside me at the side of the concert hall right there. Just looked over, and they had the chains, the welded chains together. Amazing, looked incredible. But anyways, the reason why I'm playing Queensryche and talking about this is because it's Chris DeGarmo, original guitarist's birthday this weekend on the 14th of June, and I just thought I'd mention Chris DeGarmo because I like my unsung heroes. On this show, I talk about them a lot. Chris is no longer playing music. He left Queensryche after the heat of their popularity, about a little bit after the Silent Lucidity were an Empire, and that song was Empire, by the way, by Queensryche. I saw Queensryche at Maple Leaf Gardens when they're this was the top of their peak. We were doing arenas, so first I saw them opening for Twisted Sister in the small Masonic Temple. Next time I see them, they're headlining their own show, and they did all of Operation Mindcrime, which is mind-boggling because they finally had the chance, like, we can do whatever we want live, we're gonna play. So they played most of Empire, almost the whole Empire album, which was an incredible album. And then they played all of Operation Mindcrime with the screens going, and it was just so good. And Howard from Rush was the light guy on that underleader. Howard Hearns, if anyone else knows him by that name. Um, I think he's a Facebook friend of mine. Hey Hearns, remember Queensryche tour? East Side, West Side, Downtown. He did this lighting cue in the song Empire. East Side, East Side. All the lights went to the East Side of Toronto, and then West Side, and then downtown. They went down to downtown. You had to be there. If you saw that show, you know what I'm talking about. Well, anyways, getting back to Chris DeGarmo, yeah, he's now. I think he's been an airline pilot, a few other things. Got himself out of music. Probably made a lot of money because Silent in the City was a huge song that he wrote, and Queensryche was a huge band. The Warning album came out after the EP, and I just thought they were just an incredible band with the twin guitars. Wilton, and a cool story was when I was in Los Angeles in I'm gonna say 92. 93, I was in Los Angeles, and I was in line to eat at the Rainbow because Rainbow was the hangout, and we're just waiting for a table in line, and Wilton and DeGarmo are the next guys right behind me in line. And the Rainbow doesn't care if you're a star or not. You're just gonna have to wait in line, guys. And so I got Queensryche, two guitar players from Queensryche behind, and I was pretty starstruck. I couldn't even talk to him. I just saw there's Wilton right behind me. I feel bad now not saying hi to him, but I would have been like that guru guy, guys, you're so great. But anyway, anyways, Chris DeGarmo, just a unsung hero, great guitarist, great songwriter. Sadly, he didn't. Queensryche is now still out there. There's two Queensryches. If you're in my opinion, there's two Queensryches out there. There's Jeff Tate's Queensryche, which my friend Heavy Metal Mark saw them at the El Macambo and posted some great video of that show. They had three guitar players, and they were doing the stuff to a T, and Tate's voice was just right there. Perfect. Now, the real Queensryche, there's a bunch of lawsuits and all this kind of garbage going on with the Queensryche and their members, with Todd LaTorre, who's the lead singer, who's also a drummer. Apparently, he tracks the drums because Rockenfield's no longer in the band too. And tracks drums. So there's really only two original members in Queensryche, which is Wilton on guitar, Michael Wilton, and I think Eddie Jackson, the bass player, is still in the band too. And that's it. Tate's got his own thing. I think like Skid Row. I'm not sure if this band would ever get back together and do this. It would be great to see. Speaking of Skid Row, if you've seen any footage of Lizzie Hale singing with Skid Row, this is like a match made in heaven. This band's incredible. They need to have, and even John Bon Jovi made a press release saying Lizzie Hale should join Skid Row because this is phenomenal. She's singing the song, Sebastian song. Sebastian, sorry guy, I think you got your dream gigs is gone now, right? To get back with your old band, but yeah, but Lizzie Hale's got her own career on her own, anyways. But anyways, your opinion on that, if you know what I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about some obscure stuff like Queens. Not everyone knows Queensryche, and not everybody knows Hailstorm and all that, but that's good. Anyways, big shout out to everyone I talked to last night at the Cabana. Here's a shout out to our agent Phil, who your agent comes out to see us, and you think he's talking about the band. All he wanted to talk about to me was my Fernandez guitars, so that's cool because I'll talk to you for hours about that. But here's the red guitar, Phil, that I was talking to you, the Fernandez FR65, which is the sister of the two purple ones that are sitting over there on the rack. But this is the guy that I bought for $150. It came in a weird box because the neck was off of it, pickups were missing, everything was missing on this thing, and I put it back together. And this is like an incredible beast that I keep tuned to, because if you're Bridge on Fire fans saying where's this guitar live, I keep it tuned to 440 Bridges, lower than 440. Anyhow, this is the guitar that you won't see on Bridge of Fire gigs. Anyhow, guys, have a happy Father's Day to all my brothers out there who are fathers, or my brothers out there who have fathers. That kind of thing. Anyhow, we get the day. We get the day, and I don't even care if I get gifts anymore. It's more about talking to your kids, in which I got to spend good solid time with both my kids today, and they came out. Kaylee came out to our gig last night, which is always great to see. I think living for years, playing gigs without my kids being there, and now my kids come to my gigs, and I think it's an amazing thing. It's just awesome, and that's all I have to say. Happy Father's Day to all you out there, you and yours. Happy birthday weekend to Mr. Chris DeGarmo and all you Queensryche fans out there. I know who you are. We're a brotherhood, aren't we? Yeah. So maybe someday Bridge on Fire will play a Queensryche song and make my day. Anyhow, have a good one. Enjoy the rest of June. We're at the Ides of June. July is right upon us. Happy Canada Day. Enjoy and savor the good weather. It doesn't last too long, people. See ya. Bye-bye.